Welcome to the Dojotalkpodcast. Please remove them shoes before entry. Sam Master is here, and you still have not taken off your shoes.
Yeah. Living every day to define man's mission. Looking to the sky for divine transmission. Deaf man's vision makes the blind man listen. Eyes on the prize, this is blind ambition. Thank you.
Welcome to another edition of the Dojo Talk Podcast. It is episode number 73. We're recording on President's Day. I'm joined by my co-host Antakul, and we also got Stokes in the building. How's everybody doing?
I think I feel how dying feels.
Great.
So that.
Oh snap! So I muted my. Oh, we're starting off great. Because when we record, half the time, like, I'm on other sites, and you know when ads run, they just make noise. So I muted my volume, not paying attention, realizing that I wouldn't hear anything you guys just said. Oh, man. So I completely dismissed that intro. Completely dismissed it. But real quick, not to get on a tangent, because I could talk about this forever. But I know the Antakul, you just saw Black Panther. Without spoilers or going into any tangents or too long of a tangent, what first impressions?
I really liked it. The only knock I really have against it is monarchy is still the dumbest form of government. I'm gonna need more time to ruminate on it because, like, I tend to think about, like, movies after I see them, like, a hell of a lot more than I probably should. And, like, my first impression of Man of Steel was like, oh, it's okay. And then, like, a week later, it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Because I just kept replaying the whole damn thing over and over in my head. But, like, from what I saw, like, I really liked it. I really like Killmonger.
Yeah, I think that's consensus. I feel like Killmonger. I haven't ran into anybody yet who didn't like Killmonger.
He is the most sympathetic of all the Marvel movie villains.
Yeah.
Right here, I hate it. I'm just kidding. I haven't seen it yet.
You should definitely check it out. I've seen it twice already. I'm probably gonna do
like your typical Marvel movie.
No, and that's exactly why I liked it. To me, I didn't. All right, I know I said we're not gonna go on a tangent, but whatever. Who cares? All right. But I'm not gonna do like a full blown review because I do plan on doing a solo or some kind of review episode of this. I haven't figured it out yet, but like I feel like what I got from it, or at least what I liked about it, was like halfway through the movie, it didn't really seem like a superhero movie. It was just a movie that just so happened to have superheroes in it. Like it was a really good story. Like characters were really well developed.
I mean, like when we're talking about this is, I don't want to say Shakespearean, but this is more like, yeah, I guess Shakespearean than it is like anything else. It's a movie about royalty and the fate of a nation. Like, it's not like we have to. Well, I guess it kind of is a little bit, but it's not like a movie where the fate of the world's in danger.
I felt like this movie was a lot more about, like, it wasn't really like the fate of the world. It was a lot more about, like, ideologies, a new person becoming king and him trying to figure out, all right, how am I going to run this kingdom and make it better than what it was before? And then you got Killmonger, who, you know, I won't spoil it, but when you figure out his backstory, you kind of figure out how he is, why he is. It was really good, though. I thought it was really good. Like, Killmonger is easily like a top 3 Marvel villain for me in terms of like the cinematic universe. I would say Black Panther overall as a Marvel movie, I would definitely put it in like my top 5, probably like top 3.
I can't wait for the Killmonger did nothing wrong people. because you know they're coming.
Man, I've seen so much on Twitter already about. Oh man, it's a whole. The way people argue on Twitter, you would think Wakanda was a real nation. But like, it's cool because I think like that discussion. Yeah, albeit Wakanda's not a real place, but I think that kind of shows how that's a testament to how good the movie is. That like people were that invested to the character that like some of these arguments on Twitter have gotten personal over like
On the one hand, yeah, but like on the other hand, it's Twitter. Right? It don't take much to get personal.
That is true. That is very true. But but bottom line, Black Panther was a really awesome movie. If you guys haven't seen it, go see it. And I will definitely be doing a review of that.
Yeah, I just thought of another tiny complaint I had. Well, not really a complaint, but something I would have liked to seen. Like without trying to spoil it, like there's not like 90% of the movie takes place in Wakanda, but it feels like we don't really spend time in Wakanda. You feel me?
Yeah. You get to see how T'Challa's living. You don't really see much of like you see it, but they don't really like. You don't see like the day-to-day life of like just some regular Wakandan, like somebody who's not, like a soldier or.
Yeah, and this dude's just like wandering the streets with his bodyguard.
It was dope though, man. It was worth. I'm not a person who likes to watch movies multiple times, and I willingly saw this twice, which for me that's a big thing. I don't tend to watch movies more than once. Most of the time, I watch it, and depending on how it sticks with me, that's how I rank it. But yeah, this was really, really good though.
I will probably go see it again sometime in like 2 weeks because I think I really enjoyed the movie, but I think what held me back from really enjoying it was like these damn fucking kids. like I specifically don't see movies on like Friday or Saturday night or like because kids like. That's when parents take their kids to the movies or whatever. Like, but they had to open on President's Day weekend, so I go the Monday after, and there's just like a whole bunch of parents with their like 10-year-olds, and they're spilling crap everywhere during the movie. They're throwing like bitch fits in like right behind my seat. Like, the plot of Black Panther is not that complex, and all these 9-year-olds are trying to like turning to their parents and be like, "What's happening? Who's that?"
Oh man, I got lucky. Yeah. Both times I went, I didn't have to deal with kids, and I can say on the second watch, the things that bugged me about it the first time didn't bother me as much. Like I feel like I enjoyed it even more on the second time I saw it. Thank God I didn't have to deal with the children.
Hey, shut that baby up.
They definitely should have a no baby policy.
They should have a no. You have to be 12 to go to the movies.
Right.
I don't care if you're seeing Winnie the Pooh. If you can't sit down and be quiet for 90 minutes, you don't deserve a movie.
Yeah, security should take your baby up. They should have some kind of like baby, like I don't know, it wouldn't even be a rest area, just some baby lockup. Put your baby somewhere, and he's just gotta sit there while everybody else can enjoy the movie. You can get him after we're done. They'll feed him and do all that stuff, but he's got to get out of here. Yeah, it was an awesome movie though. But also, what happened this weekend? Lots of fights and things. But I guess before we get to that, semi rant before we start. I wasn't well prepared for this show. I started off the day prepared for this show. And then I ended up driving for like what seemed like 3 hours and something that should have been like a 1 hour drive. So I'm kind of discombobulated right now. My mind is kind of scattered. I didn't write down much news, so I will let you take over the news because I don't know what's going on in the world. My mind is just kind of scattered right now. That drive really just threw me for a loop.
But the answer is nothing good. My phone's just like making noise and I don't know why. Whatever. All right, so news. Ryzen 10, May something. We got our first four fights for that card. It's going to be Kyoji Horiguchi versus Ian McCall. Japan all Japan wrestler Kaneko Murata versus China's Wei Li Zhang. What's the homie's name? Asakura. Kai Asakura versus Manel Cape. And atomweight tournament champion Kana Asakura versus what's her name? Melissa Karagianis from Canada. Back over here in the States, we got a whole bunch of fights lined up for the UFC. For UFC 223, we have Hanada Moicano taking on Calvin Kattar. Zabik Magomed Sharapov versus Kyle Bochniak. And of course, the god himself, Artem Lobov versus Bruce Leroy Caceres. All scheduled for Brooklyn. What else? On April 14th, Fabio Maldonado will defend his Fight Night's Global Light Heavyweight Championship against Nikita Krylov in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So Fight Nights goes to Brazil, so that's a really fun fight. What else? Vitor Belfort versus Lyoto Machida in works for UFC 224 in Rio de Janeiro. That's the card that's supposed to be headlined by Raquel Pennington versus Amanda Nunes. Stevie Ray versus Cajun Johnson, booked for UFC London. Bobby Green's out of his fight with Dariush. That was scheduled for UFC 222, I believe. And Koya Gadella versus Michelle Waterson, set for UFC 225.
Oh, man. I love Waterson, but that might be
she about to get worked.
that might be a rough one. That might be a rough one.
And before we hop into the fight stuff, just I guess two little bits of not news. Adrian Broner is back in jail. I think he's out on bail, but he was accused of sexually assaulting a woman in a mall. So, you know, I propose we change the AB from about millions into about butt touching.
Yeah. I'll say normally in a lot of those stories, I like to wait until both sides come out, but since it's Broner, I kind of don't care about his side. I kind of automatically assume he did it.
So. The little interesting bit about this is Adrian Broner recently had a fight announced. It's going to be a headliner on Showtime, and I'm not sure if they're going to continue on with the fight. He just Instagrammed a photo of him, video of himself yesterday saying, "I'm back." I'm not sure if that means he's going to be fighting in April, but whatever.
I'm back in jail.
I mean, so, you know, if that's something you're interested, if Adrian Broner versus Omar Figueroa, yeah, Omar Figueroa Jr. is something you're interested in, so there's you go. And I also found out why Stephen A. Smith is continually doing commentary for all the top-ranked boxing cards on ESPN. Yeah, apparently, the people who set up the top-ranked deal for ESPN, the CAA, known as the guys who are rivals to the WME, well, they're Endeavor now, or are they still WME?
I have no idea what they're called anymore.
Well, yeah, so CAA represents Stephen A. Smith, and that's why he gets to call the top-ranked cards, no matter how much we all bitch about it.
It's about who you know. Connections. Oh, man.
And
I guess. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's all I got.
I was gonna say other two bits of news, or three. I don't remember if you mentioned it. Tom Duquesnoy and Terrion Ware. That's going down. Also, news / shout out for anybody who's under a rock and didn't see the episode or listen to the episode, I should say. We interviewed Jose Shorty Torres probably about a month ago, maybe not even a month ago, something like that. But anywho, his fight that we mentioned in that podcast happened this weekend, or it was on Friday. One of those days. Either way, all that matters is he flatlined Alberto Orellano in a KO that you should definitely watch. So shout outs to Torres and everybody in the UFC. I hope you guys are handing this guy a contract sometime soon. Like, I don't know, after a KO like that, like, I don't know what else you need to do to get the call. Like, it was a pretty entertaining fight, and it ended with I think Torres threw like a left hook to the body, then a right hand that just completely took the gentleman's soul. So give him a contract. Somebody give him a contract. And
UFC 225 in Chicago.
Right, yeah. That's the card he's been pulling to get on. I see no other reason why that shouldn't happen. So shout outs to Jose Torres. And last bit of news, in the name of equality for the genders, Elias Theodorou will be a ring boy at Invicta FC 28. So if you want to see a ring boy and that's your thing, yeah, watch Invicta FC 28, and you can watch a ring boy.
Love it. I'm getting Fight Pass just to watch that.
I mean, if it's really a thing, you can also watch Ladies Fight Night in Poland. They literally, it's just ring boys and like, yeah, like cargo, like in cargo shorts, not like swimsuits. It's really weird.
Cargo shorts.
Oh man, well, you know, hey, equality. Everybody gets a chance.
Everybody gets some like fan service.
Hey, you know, you gotta please both crowds. Before we get to UFC Fight Night 126, we're just gonna quickly run through Bellator 194 that also went down. Like, there were a ton of fights this weekend. We had Bellator, UFC, Glory had a card, LFA had a card. There were boxing fights also, right? Pretty sure.
There was like 4 or 5 cards here in the U.S. alone. So.
Yeah, there was a lot of violence going on this weekend. So real quick, we'll just run through this Bellator card. Bellator 194, headlined by Matt Mitrione and Roy Nelson. I was actually entertained by this fight. We won't spend too much time on each of these, but for heavyweight, my bar for entertainment is set pretty low. So they met the bar that I set. Mitrione did a lot of sticking and moving. Roy Nelson was trying to work the takedowns in, and in the end, Mitrione ended up getting a close decision. So I don't know. Some people thought Roy Nelson won. Roy Nelson I always root for, but this fight I kind of honestly didn't care either way who won. I was just happy that I was entertained by a fight that I thought was going to be just flat out terrible. So.
It's kind of sad that Roy Nelson's like quite obviously cooked, but he could probably still be a top 15 heavyweight.
Is it just me, or since he came to Bellator, his takedowns he just does like he had them in the UFC, but I feel like he didn't use them as often. Like now it seems like that's like the go-to now.
He tried to against
Derek Lewis. He just doesn't want to get hit anymore.
That too.
I think he's just really slow now. Like. That foot, like that tricky foot speed he used to land that overhand right to walk guys into that punch, it's not there anymore. So he's just like, "Yep, gotta go back to wrestling." He tried to take Derek Lewis down. If I'm remembering right, he tried to out wrestle Barnett. I don't remember the Volkov fight at all. So
it is what it is. So. Matt Mitrione will be going on to fight. I don't know how this Bellator tournament is set up, to be honest.
The winner of King Mo and Bader.
Bader. All right. So one of those two gentlemen, he will get to fight. I'm still picking the winner of Bader and Mo to win the tournament. So, but you know, shout outs to Bellator's heavyweight tournament. It's something. I don't know what it is, but
it's going. It's going.
Right.
Matt Mitrione called it the most exciting thing in the sport.
I mean, I guess if you're involved in it, you have to believe that somewhat. But you know, it is what it is. Co-main event: Patricky versus Derek Campos. I didn't watch any of these fights over after the first time I watched them. So all I remember from this fight is that it was like a very technical, systematic picking part / beat down that Patricky dished out and ended up getting the TKO on Campos. I feel like he dropped him multiple times, but my memory's kind of scattered. But yeah, he put hands on him. That's pretty much the moral of the story. It didn't go out the first round.
I thought Campos was gonna win, honestly. Like, I don't know what I was thinking.
I didn't think it was gonna. I still thought Patricky would win, but I didn't think it was gonna be so one-sided. Like, this fight wasn't even.
Yeah.
There were no points that this fight was even close. Like, Patricky just kind of ran through him.
Yeah, Patricky's found Patricky over like the last 2 or 3 years. He's really found his stride. Like his recent run has been like Campos, Henderson, Thompson, Kevin Sosa, Ryan Couture. Like those are all solid wins, and he wins them all pretty convincingly.
I feel like he could be champ if Chandler isn't champ.
Maybe Chandler hurts his ankle again in the fight, and they could just do the Primus Patricky fight.
Yeah, I could see Patricky taking that fight.
Let's just say Chandler beats the GOAT, Brent Primus. Like, does Bellator do like, because it would be the third time they fight, right? With Patricky and Chandler.
I think. Is it the third?
Right?
Let's see.
My mind is playing tricks on me.
No, it's the third.
Yep.
Yeah, like, do you think Bellator does that?
I mean, they've done it before.
Yeah. And to be honest, like, I feel like unfortunately with them, like, Bellator seems to be like pretty top heavy in most of their divisions, but then once you get past like that top 5, 6, you start, it gets a little murky. It's like I don't even know who else at this point like they would throw up there. So yeah, it's not far fetched that rematch would even happen again for the third time.
It's either going to be Patricky or it's going to be Patricio. So
right,
take your voice.
One of them's coming. But yeah, shout outs to Patricky. Real quick, Heather Hardy, Anna Julian. Nobody seemed to be pleased with this fight.
I think we should just get the fight, honestly.
Everybody was expecting a bloodbath, and it was it did not turn out to be did not turn out to be a bloodbath at all.
They murdered jiu-jitsu.
That's about it.
It felt like watching. It felt like watching two boxers like get on the mat for the first time.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like. But I mean, I don't like to bash people or make them feel bad. So I mean, just shout out to Hardy. You got the win. A W is a W, no matter how sloppy it may look. It is what it is. I mean, and pardon me, my memory is a bit murky. From what I remember in this fight, it seemed like Anna was the one initiating a lot of the clinching.
Yes.
So Hardy seemed like she at least wanted to throw down, but
Well, she's gonna get her chance because they're gonna run it back in a boxing ring.
Oh yeah, they did mention that. So yeah, if you guys want to see violence, just watch that fight in a boxing ring where they can't. Well, you can't clinch in boxing, but it won't be to the level that we saw in this fight. So, but shout out to Heather Hardy. She got the W nonetheless. Next fight, Vadim Nemkov and Liam McGeary. Nemkov, I believe, is like Fedor's protege or something like that. Yeah, he beat the crap out of Liam McGeary. That's he leg kicked Liam McGeary like 1,000 times.
That sucks.
He literally won the fight by leg kicks. Like McGeary just couldn't go on. Yeah, this was hard to watch. Like, this was a hard fight to watch. Just McGeary just kind of get beat up. But in the spirit of staying optimistic, at least at 205 with Nemkov, you have something. Like you've got some talent there that that's somebody to keep an eye on.
So. It just sounds like Nemkov is legitimately one of the best 205 prospects out there.
Yeah, you got a fresh face now.
Right. So I mean, you take down an established guy for a fresh face. So but good on Nemkov. Like
the only two people Nemkov has lost to are two other really good light heavyweight prospects, and Albrechtsen and was it Prochaska? And those are like the fifth and sixth fights of his career. So
I kind of feel bad for Liam. Like,
I do too.
he got to the top with like his one skill set, and like everyone just kind of figured him out, and now everyone's just beating the shit out of him. Like,
Yeah. But you know what's crazy though?
He hasn't evolved, you know.
You know, we say everybody's like killing him. He's only lost 3 times. But for some reason it seems like I don't know, it seems like he's lost a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But I think it's because like a lot of these fights he gets put in bad situations, but he can find his way out of them. But yeah, if you can take him down, or apparently if you can kick his legs off, like there's no other recourse. And it was weird watching this fight because it didn't even seem like his offense wasn't even clicking. Like he wasn't even getting anything off. Like them cops just kind of beat him up. I mean that was it.
Yeah. I just found this post. He fractured his fibular.
Oh.
Yeah. So those leg kicks were legit.
Yeah. And last fight, I guess to mention, Bellator, Taiwan Claxton versus Jose Antonio Perez. If anybody remembers, Taiwan Claxton, that was last year, the flying knee, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the flying knee heard around the world that he hurled from like halfway across the cage. But he put on a pretty good performance. He won by TKO in the second round. Anybody know where he trains at?
No idea.
I want to say, doesn't he train out of the same gym as what the heck is his name?
Or is he at Body Shop? No.
That Strong Style. Oh, he trains with Stipe, right?
Yeah. There we go.
All right. Yeah. So he's a guy to keep an eye on at featherweight. Real athletic dude, pretty talented guy. So, but
minus
that was pretty
1,700.
Jesus Christ.
He was a minus 1,700 favorite. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, what's the point of that? Don't even like put that in the book. Like,
right. How do you feel if you're the other guy?
I mean, the other guy was like 0-1 or something. Like,
Jesus though, minus 17. Dude, you could have bet like $1. Oh man, you could have bet $1 on him and like.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Oh, and a quick shout outs to Jared Trice also, who won by decision on the prelims, but didn't catch his fight. But he's now 3-0. So that was Bellator pretty much in a nutshell. Probably towards the end, we'll get some shout outs to Glory and LFA, all that good stuff. But on to the main course of the weekend, UFC Fight Night 126. Cerrone versus Medeiros went down in Austin, Texas. Yeah, we'll get right to it. Well, real quick, I'll say overall, good job on Texas. Like they went like 7-3 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, like most of them won. Majority of them won.
I didn't even realize they had that many Texas dudes on the card.
Yeah, I didn't either until I was watching somebody on Twitter. They were keeping tally. Like they started off like 4-0, and then I think one of them dropped the fight. But yeah, they finished like 7-3 or something crazy like that. But guess just running this from the top. Cerrone versus Medeiros. Pretty much you expected violence from this fight, and it ended in such fashion. It wasn't like as wild as I thought it would be. I mean, they both were still throwing. Cerrone was getting off some good body kicks. Medeiros was having a lot of success, like coming over the top with the right. He caught Cerrone a couple good times with that. I was kind of afraid, somewhat going into this fight, that like somehow Yancey would just clip Cerrone, and Cerrone would have been on a 4-fight skid had he lost this. But yeah, man, they had some good shots traded back and forth, but eventually Cerrone, I think Cerrone had cracked him with a left. There was also a point in the fight where I think Yancey like tripped, and Cerrone like purposely didn't go in for the kill. I guess just due to the fact that they're cool, he didn't want to take like I guess the cheap way out, if you would call it that. So I don't know, good sportsmanship on him. He didn't want to do his homie like that, but in the end, it was a pretty entertaining fight that ended with I think Cerrone, like, he cracked him with a left. He stanky leg really bad. Like like he had Yancey's legs doing all kinds of moves, and then he ended up just following up with some ground and pound, and that was pretty much that. But it was a good cap off of the card. Like, this was a really good card actually overall. I thought, like, for what it looked like on paper, like, it didn't look like it would be much, but there was a lot of entertainment, and I thought this finish was like, it was a really good way to cap off the card. And then, like, Yancey even went into the crowd to, like, give Cerrone's mom a hug. I don't know how I would hug anybody after I just got punched in the face, but that's why he's in the cage and I'm home.
But it was his grandma.
Yeah, grandma.
Yeah, but yeah, it was an awesome main event though. And I mean, good for Cerrone. Always an entertaining dude, and I think with this win, he tied most wins in the UFC and most finishes or something like that.
Oof, I didn't even check the.
Yeah, I think he's tied with Bisping for most wins, and I don't know who has most finishes, but he's tied with them too, I think also. And more importantly, he avoids a 4-fight
thing in
skid.
GSP.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, good on him tying both those records. I'm pretty sure he's gonna break both of those records. And I mean, good on him avoiding a 4-fight skid, which would not be a good, spot to be put in. But he literally punched his way out of a 4-fight skid. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the main event.
Didn't he call out like Khabib or something? Like not in the interview, but like in the post fight or like in the conference, whatever.
Did he? I didn't watch it.
Oh. No.
I wonder.
I just saw
the
headline. I was like, oh.
If he called out Khabib, I wonder would he go back down to 155 or is he?
Yeah, that's what it's saying. Donald Cerrone targets to turn to lightweight. Khabib Nurmagomedov after UFC Austin win.
I still like him at 170 though.
Yeah, like dude was.
Yeah, he should stay at 170.
Yancy Medeiros can't struggles at 155, and Donald Cerrone was bigger than him.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I would not be mad at that fight if it happened. Weren't they supposed to fight at one point?
Probably.
I felt like that fight was supposedly going to be a thing at one point, and it just kind of like fell through.
Yeah, UFC 178. Nurmagomedov tore his meniscus. And that fight got pulled. He ended up fighting Eddie Alvarez.
Oh.
It all worked out. What were you guys' thoughts on the fight?
It was good that Cerrone, stopped the skid. He was like on the longest skid of his career, 3-fight losing streak. Got knocked out twice. I really more than the fight. I really like the little thing they did on Yancy Medeiros, like the little road to the octagon or countdown piece they did on him, where he's just like swimming with sharks. And you could tell this is just a thing he does. Like, this is just a thing Yancy Medeiros does, even when there are no UFC cameras there. So that was cool. But like the fight, like this was what we needed to see from Donald Cerrone to prove that he was not like faded, like just done. Because in he didn't have to finish him, but he couldn't go out there and just get like rocked and knocked around by Yancy Medeiros, because that's just not a good sign. I love Yancy Medeiros' style. I like the fact that he's just in there to throw, but he is not the dude you should be like losing to if you are an elite talent. And Donald Cerrone is still one of the most talented dudes in the sport. He's one of the most well-rounded guys there is. I hope that somebody talks him out of fighting at lightweight. And if he does fight at lightweight, it's only like twice a year, and not him trying to fight 4 times a year. But knowing his trouble with like the IRS and freaking, he just had a kid, and or he's having a kid, something along those lines, and who knows? He's probably going to end up trying to fight as often as possible. And I don't think that's smart, but like good win here.
I also I think the beard power had something to do with this win. Just gonna throw that out there. He had the full grown Logan beard going on with this fight. What do you think, Stokes? Did you catch all these fights?
Yeah, I caught this one. I didn't catch Sage and the one before that. But
you missed the goat.
I know. That's why I had you guys update me yesterday. I don't know, man. Yancy let me down. Like, he's just always been like another dude, and finally he put together a streak and got himself a main event. And he let me down. Like, I thought he was gonna finally break through, but couldn't do it against Cowboy.
I think he'll. I'm not sure if he'll main event again, but like I feel like he'll end up getting another crack at a top guy. I think he's good enough to keep himself like on that fringe of like he's one of those dudes that'll like anybody below him he'll probably beat, but you know once you start to get to like that top 15. It might get a little difficult for him, but I think he's good enough to at least like stick around in that conversation. That he'll find his way back into another one of those fights.
Yeah, it just sucked because like you lost to a guy that I always root against, so it's like, oh, come on.
Oh man,
not a big Cowboy guy.
See, I was never on the whole like Cowboy was washed bandwagon. I mean, I get it. He did fight 20 times a year, which probably isn't the best thing in the world. But like, albeit like his losses were tough, but like he was still fighting like elite guys. So I never understood like the whole like he's washed. Like, it's nothing shameful to losing to Masvidal. He did really good in the Robbie fight. Darren Till gonna Darren Till. I don't have any excuse for that one. Darren Till gonna Darren Till, and you just might have to deal with it. But, like I still feel like he has plenty in the tank. It's just that his fight style is eye pleasing as it is. It can go the other way quickly at the same time. Depending on who's fighting.
I was definitely on that backfiring. I was waiting for him to retire, honestly.
I think Cerrone is gonna be one of those guys that I don't want to see this, but I just feel like he's gonna fight until like he can't anymore. Like somebody's gonna have to pull him to the side. Like he's gonna. I don't want to see him go the route of BJ Penn, that he's just gonna keep fighting years past when he should, just because he can. But
he will.
Yeah. He's a wild dude, so I feel like he's gonna be around for a while. But
I'm always for guys like retiring early. Like I feel like Cowboy is one of those. Like even though he won, like I still feel like he should probably retire. But at the same time, I didn't know about that baby or the IRS thing, so I can see why he's still gonna keep fighting.
I feel like there's gotta be, as wild as he is, I feel like there's gotta be something he can do outside of fighting to still like generate revenue.
Dude, do a fucking podcast or something, man. Talk about fucking your conservative ways.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know what Don Cerrone does besides like all the extreme sports shit. And by the time he stops fighting, he's not going to be able to do any of that stuff anymore.
Nah, I don't think he'll stop.
Like his body will fail him.
No, I think when he stops fighting, he'll do those more. I'm positive he's gonna do those even more.
Well, he's not gonna be able to do them professionally.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not that, but he'll still be out there. Like we're gonna see some kind of viral YouTube video of Cerrone on like a snowboard or something. Like it's gonna happen.
Maybe he actually goes into like maybe his ranch isn't just for show anymore, and he actually like gets some cattle in there. Starts planting some crops. Gets the farm going.
Be a fucking real cowboy. Fucking.
I didn't realize before this camp that he literally just like his rants is just for a show, and they don't actually grow anything there.
You fraud. Oh man,
ass motherfucker.
But shout outs to Cowboy and Yancey though. You know, pretty
Take that
entertaining.
shout out back. Shout out to Yancey.
Was Yancey ranked? Yancey was ranked, right?
Like
I
15.
think it was like 15.
I think he was at. Was he at 15? He'll find his way back in there. I'm pretty confident he'll knock somebody else out. He'll be right back. We have not seen the last of Yankee. I mean, in front of Yancey, you got Stun Gun, who I don't really know what he's up to nowadays. Gunnar Nelson, I don't think he's got a fight lined up.
I think I just saw a video of Stun Gun like wrestling a Mongolian wrestler who was wearing like not a sumo diaper per se, but like along those lines.
Yancey's taking his spot.
Yeah.
Yancey will find his way back up there. I'm positive.
I want them to feed Cowboy to Usman. Like, just make that a main event somewhere.
They're not gonna give
in Colorado. Fuck it.
They're not gonna give Usman that fight. They should, but they won't.
Give Usman someone. Fuck. Give Usman someone. Jesus Christ.
Everybody shook. Nobody's picking up that phone call. You know what? I'm looking at this card. I did not realize that this was the co-main event for some reason. But co-main event. Oh man, and this fight had one of the greatest sequences that had nothing to do with the fight ever happen after that. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Derek Black Beast Lewis, Marcin Tybura, co-main event. Yeah, pretty much a heavyweight fight. You got one guy who in Tybura who was working takedowns. You got Derek Lewis who would have these random power spurts of just blows that he would throw. That first takedown he got was so weird because I couldn't tell if he was trying to punch him or was he lunging for a takedown. Because I felt like he did both at the same time.
Yes.
like he threw an overhand and it like didn't land, so he just got a takedown off of it somehow. But yeah, I mean, this fight was pretty much Derek Lewis wanting to keep it on the feet and Tybura,
except he didn't. Especially when I had to get on top.
I thought it was funny at there was one point, I think in the first, when they were on the ground and Tybura tried to get like a heel hook or something in, and Derek Lewis like spun out of it. And he literally just sat on Tybura for like a minute. Like he literally just sat on him and
right
then
on
like
his face.
Right. But it was one of those fights where by the third round I was like, yeah, Black Beast, you probably need to get a finish going. And he delivered on his finish. I think they were clinched up against the cage. I can't remember, something happened, and then Lewis like blasted him with a right. Tybura kind of collapsed. He ate some ground and pound, and you could tell by like after like that first shot he hit on the floor, he was definitely out of there. He was gone. And Black Beast gets the win in his hometown, and then and the post fight, I'm sure the FCC had a meltdown. Like the greatest 1-2 combination like in the history of the UFC. I was waiting the whole night for his post-fight interview because I just knew it. I could feel it in my soul. Something good was going to happen. And they're interviewing him. First, actually, you know what? 3 things happened. Because we all know, and this is something that really bothers me, even though like I understand why they do it. The UFC never references Bellator by name. They always refer to it as other organization. Derek Lewis just broke the fourth wall. He didn't care. Jimmy Smith is interviewing him, and he's like, yeah, I know you came over from Bellator. You're new over here, and this is just how I fight. And I'm like, oh, snap, he said the B word. And then,
you just told 10,000 people that Bellator exists. Good job.
Right. Uncle Dana is gonna have a fit with you. giving these other promotions,
I
you know.
would love to see Dana White try to tell Derek Lewis anything.
Right. So first that happens. Then right before the interview wraps up, he tells his wife to be ready because he's going in deep. And then literally like 2 seconds after that happens, the camera cuts to Nate Diaz in the crowd. I feel like whoever was in the production truck, you guys had to have done this on purpose. Because it was too good of a setup. They cut to Nate Diaz in the crowd. Nate Diaz just pulls out a blunt, holds it up, has the light in his other hand, and then the camera just conveniently cuts away after like 2 seconds. Oh man, that might have been like the best moment.
Is there's a little girl sitting right over his like left shoulder, whose face just like freezes up when she sees the blunt.
I didn't know.
Oh my God, who's this dangerous man?
I'm about to go back and watch it. I didn't know. I wasn't even paying attention to anybody else around him. But yeah, this fight was entertaining because of everything that happened after the fight. I mean, like the fight wasn't terrible. It was kind of, you know, it was a heavyweight fight. You know, it's kind of what you expected. It just ended in Black Beast doing Black Beast things.
No, we're not gonna talk about Black Beast falling on his ass like when he was trying to get
out. Yeah. that was the most heavyweight thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the most heavyweight thing you're probably gonna see all year.
Exactly.
What was that sequence? I can't even remember. Like, did they have like a scramble or something? Was it the heel? It might have been the heel hook. Like they had a quick scramble or something. And Derek Lewis like stumbles back, but it takes him like 45 minutes to hit the ground. Like I've never seen somebody. He fell like it looked like it was slow motion, but that was real time. And I was really hurt because I was like, dude, if you lose off of this little stumble, I'm gonna be so angry.
Oh my God!
But he got it together. He got it together. So I'm glad. That fight could have went really wrong, right at that moment. But shout outs to Black Beast. Yeah, Black Beast just anytime he's on TV, you just have to watch. Like you have to watch for the fight, and like Black Beast is like when his fight's over, it's like a Marvel credit. Like you have to stay till the very end. You can't cut the fight off after he wins or loses. Like you have to stay until the interview because you're gonna get some gold, and he did not fail. He did not fail at all. But
like,
you guys?
I thought he was gonna retire. Because he took off his gloves, and I was like, oh, he's gonna like put them like in the middle of the cage. I was like, nah.
He can't. He's got too much. You know, it's too much entertainment value left in him. He can't leave us like this.
Yeah.
I want to see somehow, some way that he becomes heavyweight champ, and I want to see how they would even market him, or if they would market him.
I mean,
Stop it.
They would fail horribly.
Oh man, what were you guys' thoughts on this this fight?
I don't have any thoughts about like the fight because, like you said, it was a heavyweight fight, and this was the most heavyweight fight of all the heavyweight fights. But why isn't Derek Lewis in like a made-for-TV like Fight Pass movie? Like it could be him and like Sage Northcutt.
Buddy cop.
Buddy cop. Like, I mean, Sage Northcutt and anybody is a good buddy cop movie.
Mr. Lewis, man. I really don't think you should be doing that coke right now.
And he really would call him Mr. Lewis. Sage is a national treasure. The world doesn't realize it yet, but we don't deserve him right now. You guys will look back and remember your days of hatred, and you'll realize how wrong you were. Oh man, but
that fucking
yeah.
I'll save it. I'll save it.
Alright. But where's he real quick before I move on? Where is Derek Lewis ranked? Oh, he's at number 7, and Mark Hunt just lost. So
I doubt he gets above Hunt because Hunt knocked him out.
no, yeah, that is true. And then right above him is Curtis Bleed too. Yeah. So he might kind of be stuck at 7.
Just
But-
give him
Well-
Francis or something. Fuck it.
That's the fight, I guess.
I'm down. I would not complain. Any Derek Lewis fight, I'm watching. I just don't care. And mostly, I'm staying for the post-fight interview because I know I'm gonna get something cool. But shout outs to Black Beast. Good way to finish the fight after going through some adversity in the first 2 rounds, and then with emphatic fashion. Keep those post-fight interviews coming. And moving on to the next fight, James Vick, Francisco Trinaldo. This entire fight, I just kept trying to figure out how does James Vick make a lightweight? Dude is like 6'3", and I
He's
don't
actually
understand.
hollow inside.
Like, he's just really big for no reason. Pretty much this fight, man. Like it was an okay fight, not anything like too wild. Did he drop Trinaldo in the first? Or am I thinking of another fight?
I think he rocked Ronaldo in the first.
Okay, yeah. This fight was pretty much a tall, long, rangy guy using his range to his advantage, just being able to keep Trinaldo at bay. Like Trinaldo was kind of he threw a couple of just wild overhands trying to land one, but I mean Vic was just kind of able to just keep him at bay. Like I'm not gonna say I was disappointed. I mean, a win is a win. I felt like Vic could have done a little more than what he did, but like he kind of was able to just kind of coast to a win because there weren't too many points. Other than I think was it the first round he had almost got caught in a guillotine.
I mean,
but like,
he wasn't really close.
yeah, but that was like literally the only moment in the fight where like Vic was in any kind of like a bad spot. Like once that was over, like the fight was. He pretty much just ran away with it. And like I said, it wasn't the most entertaining fight, but he was just able to use his range really good. Trinaldo just couldn't really manage to get much of an offense off. And Vic just kind of kickboxed him to a decision. And it was pretty much that fight. Not a whole much to really dive into. My only other note is Trinaldo just looks really old. Like, he just looks like he's never young. Like, he was never young. There was no point in his life that he was young. Like, every time I see him, I was like, how old is Trinaldo?
He is 39.
Damn.
He's got to be like 48. Right?
I mean,
they lost.
He's 39, and he was on, like, the Brazilian scene for almost 8 years before the UFC called him.
Man.
They definitely lost his birth certificate somewhere along the line.
Yeah, he doesn't know he's 30. This guy's at least 48. Like, but I guess you guys any thought? Yeah, I don't really have much else to dissect from this fight, to be honest.
Fuck
James
Vic won
Vick.
the first 2.
I knew that was coming.
Fuck Lloyd Irvin.
Fuck Lloyd
Irvin. Why he's still able to corner people, I don't know why.
Why he's
Dana
not
fucking do
jail.
something. Oh, God.
He actually has an affiliate gym that's like 10 minutes away from my house.
That's how he makes his money. The fact that he's allowed near, the fact that he is allowed near like preteens and teens is sickening and depressing.
Bad guy.
This reminds.
I guess we'll.
I just remembered some poor woman was posting about how like she was going to go to a gym on like Tumblr. Like she got like her friend was like friends with the owner of the gym, And somebody asked who it was, and it turned out it was like Cody East.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus
Well.
Christ.
Yeah.
Lord, he was down in San Diego for a little bit too, right?
He partnered with Alliance, but from what I understand,
Oh, okay.
like the Alliance people were kind of just using his name.
Mm.
Like, he wasn't really like close with anybody on the team, but he just like kind of show up for their. He kind of just like relay like basic jiu-jitsu information to them and like show up to corner them and get paid that way.
Mm. Yeah, I just remember like this girl that I know from Tumblr. She was like, "Oh yeah, my dad gave me a membership to Alliance," and I was like, yeah, "You probably shouldn't go there. Like, there's this bad dude named Lloyd that kind of works out there." And she was like, "Oh really?" And I was like, "Yeah, look it up." And then
I want to say they split.
Mexico,
I want
I'm
to say
pretty
they
sure.
split. I want to say they once all that came out, they just cut ties with him.
Mm. Yeah, that's good though. Shout out to my friend.
Steered them away. You were a good friend. You steered them to the. You steered them away from incoming traffic.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was that fight. Not a whole much to really dissect. This next fight though, I was actually pretty excited for this one. Curtis Millender, Thiago Alves. Millender, a former fighter from Bellator. Also, if you saw him in LFA, he was head kicking people like it was nobody's business. I think his last two fights in LFA were both head kick KOs. I like Thiago Alves, but I was rooting for Millender to get a head kick KO. I didn't get a head kick, but I got a knee, and I'll take that. Yeah, man, Millender, pretty not anything too wild. He was picking his shots really well. At one point, he he dropped Alves, did a bit of a premature celebration, and the fight was definitely not over. He followed up with like some ground and pound, but Alves ended up, he ended up kind of recovering. He got himself back in the fight. But my God, that finishing, first he dropped Alves. Was it twice? Was it once or twice? He fought him with like a right hand, and then I think he caught him again like a second later with an uppercut that I thought was gonna kill Alves, which get you're supposed to fight until the ref says stop. I kind of get why he threw his hands up because that uppercut landed flush. But props to Alves for like recovering from that. But yeah, Millender just did a really good job of really picking his shots really well. He's a big 170, or is Alves just small?
He is 6'3".
He's big. He's a big dude.
They don't look like they're in the same weight class.
Like he has a little bit of the chicken leg thing going on, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's a big boy at 170.
Yeah, he's like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, and
like Alves is from that generation of like welterweights that probably, if they came up today, would be fighting at like lightweight.
Right. And I mean, props on Alves. Like he ate a lot of hard shots, but like at no point did he like wither away. Like he was still throwing. He was still like trying to keep himself in the fight. But I just think Millender just did a really good job of like picking his shots. And then just like that last knee was just. I think Alves had threw a punch before. I think he threw a right. I think before the knee, and Millender threw the knee like right after Alves threw the right, and it just floored him. He didn't even have to follow up. Like it was over. And there was one point I thought Millender was gonna get the head kick KO because if you watched any of his LFA fights, something he does really often, he'll always like paw the jab out there, and he'll follow the head kick up like right behind it as like a way to kind of hide it. And he did that a couple of times here, but Alves I think blocked it like both times he did it. But either way, Millender finished the fight with a brutal knee KO that was kind of just like a walk-off knee. Great debut for Millender. I'm glad he got signed from LFA. Yeah, just awesome KO, man. That was a brutal knee, and anybody he fights next, especially if they're a striker, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see I want to see this dude deliver some more violence.
Can you believe Bellator chose MVP over Melender?
Right. That was my first thought. Like, Bellator, you let this walk out the door, man. Like, I knew when he went to LFA he was gonna smoke people. Come man, I get it. Like in Bellator, I think he had went on a stint of losing.
Well, like he got signed to Bellator. He only been fighting like 2 years at that point.
Right. I mean, and they threw him in. To his credit, he got thrown straight to the wolves. Like his first 2 Bellator fights were Brennan Ward and Fernando Gonzalez. Like that's.
I got reminded of this. Shouts to Corey Carton. The dude he was supposed to fight was MVP, and he had to fight Ward instead.
Oh, damn.
MVP, what are you doing? Where are you at?
I'm proud of Melender, man. Another Bellator guy getting to the UFC, doing work. Like, I root for all those Bellator guys. You know, I love it.
Like even back in Bellator, like if you watched them fight for even like a second, like you could tell there was something there.
Yeah. LFA was just a good bridge to get.
Actually, you know what? Now that you mentioned the MVP thing, I do remember thinking that because I remember when that fight got announced, I was thinking like, oh snap, MVP will finally fight somebody who'll fight back. Like it won't be like he's gonna fight somebody who knows how to throw a jab and like actually put up an offense. So yeah, I do remember that was supposed to have been a thing. Well, Melender moved on to bigger and better things, so good on him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hope he does stay around for a while. He
I feel like he got.
Oh, still there?
Oh. Yeah, I went out for a little bit. Hello.
Yeah, what'd you say? You said hope something.
I just hope they give like Melender like another name, like you know, maybe give him like a fast track, or just give him another entertaining guy that has a name.
Yeah, I want to see him. Don't throw a wrestler in there.
Yeah, exactly.
let this man get off like one head kick KO. Then you can throw a wrestler at him. But yeah, they're exciting matchups I think for him at 170. He'll put on the show. He's gonna give us at least one head kick KO. I'm positive of it. Is Alves on a skid? Is this a skid? Or did he win his last fight? Oh no, he did win his last fight.
Yeah,
How is he still fighting?
Dude,
he takes long breaks.
Yeah, like I haven't like paid attention to his career since like he lost to GSP. Like he's just like so on and off. Like
sometimes I forget that like I always forget that he even fights until they bring his name up. I'm like, oh, he is still around. Lord, when did that GSP fight happen?
2009. UFC 100. Right? Yeah.
Jesus Christ. This dude is still alive and kicking. And I mean, to his credit, for somebody who's been in the game so long, it's not like he looks like terrible. I mean, obviously he's not, you know, he's not like an elite welterweight, but dude can still throw. Yeah, I don't know how much longer or how much he got left in the tank, but you know, I guess good on him for being able to stick around so long. I just hope he hasn't sustained any crazy brain damage.
But I picked Alves to beat GSP that fight too.
You know what though? I won't hold that against you because I remember when that fight happened. Like one of the he was wrecking people, and like people were like, "Oh man, GSP is not going to be able to hang with that strike," and like Alves is just running. I mean, and to his credit, like his streak up until GSP were like all finishes minus the Koscheck fight. So yeah, I remember that fight. Now I'm gonna lie, I was a little worried for GSP that fight. I was like, oh, I hope he doesn't get put on that highlight reel. I want to see GSP get flying kneed or something like that. But those are the glory days. Those are good times.
Three of those main fights on UFC 100. I thought Miro would win. I thought Alves would win.
John Fitch fought Paulo Tiago. Mark Coleman was still fighting.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. John Jones fought Jake O'Brien. I remember that fight.
Oh man.
Oh man. Oh man. There are some names on this card. Alan Belcher. Akiyama.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and Bisbing
I'll-
got
I'll-
Bisbinged.
Akiyama won, right?
Yeah, he won split decision. Oh, we could do a whole
I don't
podcast.
think.
Oh, that could be a whole podcast just reminiscing. Those were good times.
God.
Those were good times.
They were. They really were.
They were.
That was when like I first started watching MMA and I was like, yeah, it's so sick.
Oh man. But shout out to Melinda. Oh, and Taco, did you even get in on this fight?
Melender, the sequence where he that led to the knockout, like he grabs Alvis's like lead hand that's going out for like a hook, and it clears the way for his knee. Is actually really interesting because you can see him pawing with the right hand like earlier in the round. Then he switches up to the body. Alves takes that as a sign to go upstairs with the left hook, and then he uses that to counter with the knee. So it's really interesting stuff he was building off of. So, but I hope they don't do the thing where like what they're doing with like Mike Perry, where they just completely just throw him at bangers and until he like breaks. I think that's what Perry's gonna end up. That's gonna end up having with Perry. He's gonna keep fighting guys who are supposed to brawl with him until like he's just done.
We'll see. Shit, I wouldn't be surprised if they throw him and Perry at each other.
I mean, they're only fighting a week
Dude, that
apart.
would be fucking dope. Yeah, he's fighting Max Griffin next, right?
Another banger. See, that's a dude. That's a dude who needs to fight a wrestler.
Oh, Perry. Yeah, he's gotten some. Let's say favorable, but you could kind of.
No, like he needs to fight a wrestler for his own career's sake because they just keep giving him dudes who are just going to brawl with him.
I feel like though he probably won't argue against those fights because he knows he's always got a puncher's chance. So yeah, I don't know. He might punch his way right out the UFC. Like I don't know. He might punch his way down to Bellator or somewhere else.
I think the only way they give him a wrestler is like if he strings some fights together and like he finally has to fight like a legit opponent. I think they're still just gonna throw him with other dudes that want to bang.
But yeah, I'm worried that that's the course that they're gonna put like Under on. Like they don't see him as like a legit, like up and coming contender.
We'll see. Melinda, just get a few more of them head kicks off. You know, when 170 could, I ain't gonna say yours for the taking, but you can get in that conversation. Just, you know, you get 1 or 2 head kicks off. We might see you in the main event somewhere. Maybe even a co-main.
This division's really weird right now.
Right. Now is the time to make the move. But
Melinda,
yeah, so shout out to Melinda.
2019.
Yeah.
At least we know Melinda would take the fight.
Right. And we know there wouldn't be a size discrepancy because they're both huge. But shout out to Melinda, vicious knee KO. Speaking of vicious fights and blood and people getting beat up, Brandon Davis and Steven Peterson. Peterson ate a lot of shots. I would have been really interested to see what the fight metrics on this fight were. Jesus Christ, man. I mean, good on Brandon Davis. Dude was throwing like 1,000 punches a minute. He did a really good job, I thought, of like slipping and getting out of the way of what Peterson was throwing. Like he had pretty good head movement. Peterson was pretty much just coming forward, trying to bang. But Davis seemed to be like definitely the more cleaner wise in terms of like technique. Definitely in terms of defense. Um, yeah, man, he just got off a lot of combinations, a lot of strikes. But Peterson, for what it's worth, has a chin made of vibranium. He got rocked. Was that the third round? Can't remember. He got rocked in the third, and I've never seen somebody reverse the stanky leg. Like normally when you get stanky leg, you don't come back from that. And he came back. He came back from full blown stanky leg mode. Like,
it was like
and not like not.
He was rocked. He was rocked, and then Davis landed another knee, and that knee like woke him up, like from being rocked.
And then he starts waving his hands in the air, like the dude he's one of those just like savage guys, like that can just take punishment like it's nobody's business. But just really good performance from Davis. Like it seemed like he was gassed out from just trying to finish the fight. Like this fight went to decision, but not for lack of effort. Like he was throwing everything you could possibly throw and landing, and Peterson just he was staying in his face the entire time. But were they both from the Dana White thing?
Was Peterson on the Dana White? Like I know Peterson from LFA and I guess RFA and Legacy.
I can't remember if they mentioned that he might have been. I could be thinking.
Yeah.
I know
he fought
Davis
in the Contender Series. He fought Benito Lopez and lost. But it was one of those fights that Dana likes, where like both guys just like swing at each other, like, really hard.
So both of them get signed.
Yeah.
But yeah, good on both. Because I think Brandon Davis, I forgot who his first fight in the UFC was, but he lost. I can't remember who it was. Who was that? His first
Kyle
fight?
Bochniak.
Okay, and that was his first fight, right?
Yeah.
He gets his first UFC win, in pretty good fashion. Like it was a really entertaining fight, really bloody fight. Yeah, he did everything but finish the fight. But like I said, it was not for lack of effort. Like he was landing shots, he landed those knees, he stanky legged them. Peterson came back to life, and the fight went on. But really, really entertaining scrap, and really, really good performance from Davis. And Peterson, they'll probably bring him back just because of how tough he is. Like I'm pretty sure they'll bring him back. He'll probably be on another undercard, but I have no doubt that Dana loves these kind of guys. He'll definitely have him back.
They both come 50K. Congrats.
Oh, they did? Was this like fight night?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. I wouldn't argue. Let me look down the rest of this fight. No, I wouldn't argue. Probably was like the most bloody fight, or one of the most bloody fights on this card. So.
I mean, it's this or it's like Lewis Tybura.
Nah, I'll take
this.
Exactly.
Whoa,
I don't need to think about that. Lewis would get fight of the night if you could factor in the post-fight antics. If that was like a part of the fight, he definitely would get fight of the night. Oh man! But what were you guys' thoughts on this script?
It was fine. Like there was just something odd about this fight where it felt like at a certain point he just kind of hit cruise control. Like Davis, it feels like he can only fight at one speed. And I don't know why, but that just like caught my eye and just like immediately like my brain like turned off when watching it. And then like in his post fight, he bitched about Kyle Bochniak ran away from him. And I'm like, dude, you're just like he's just real like. I don't think Davis is long meant for like the division because like. He makes Rick Glenn look fast. Like Rick Glenn's one of the slowest dudes in like maybe in the sport. So, like I enjoyed the fight. It was fine. I'm not gonna sit here and like rewatch it. Like Peterson's definitely been stopped because he lost to like Thomas Almeida, right? This is the same Peterson that got like knocked out by Almeida, or am I?
Was he? I never remember any of Almeida's victims in LFA.
No. I'm thinking of uh Pacquiao. Freaking what was his name? I'm just call him George Pack because I can't remember the rest. I can't pronounce the rest of his name. But like I've completely forgot where I was going with this. Point being, he's stoppable. Like Davis, I'm not saying Davis hit cruise control. I'm just saying like he like there's just something about his style that just seems off and not UFC ready, and they kind of just showed through in this fight.
We'll see. I'm pretty sure with this style though.
You know what it was like? It was like watching like the American fights on like the Glory cards. Between like when like Americans are fighting Americans, and then like the next fight's like Sidichai versus Shibaya. where you're like, I know I'm watching the same sport, but these two things look very different.
You know what they should do? Ranking wise, it doesn't even make any sense. Just do Brandon Davis and Jason Knight. See what
I
happens.
mean, I don't think Jason Knight's even ranked anymore, so like, I say go for it. Dude needs a win. Whoa! What am I looking at?
What?
I'm looking at news. WBC announces roster for welterweight tournament. Oh, never mind. It's not news. These are just guys.
No.
You guys weren't important enough to be breaking news.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Like,
Damn.
I like Felix Diaz, but he might be the best boxer in this lineup right now. Evander Holyfield, what are you doing?
Oh man, but shout outs to
I saw WBC. I'm like, oh, they're gonna be fighting. Like Keith Thurman's gonna be fighting somebody. It's like, nah.
You don't want to
not
fight
fighting.
anyone.
Now we get Frederick Lawson and Brad Solomon.
Didn't Thurman? I'm gonna say he ducked Errol Spence, but didn't he turn
He
that fight
ducked
down?
Errol Spence. He was like, that fight does not interest me. I'm going to spend 2017 rematching dudes that beat.
God.
Oh boy.
Ridiculous. That's why no one likes you, Thurman.
That's fine. That means Errol Spence can fight Terrence Crawford.
And Danny Garcia.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Thurman, you can see your way out the park.
I apologize for disrupting the discourse.
That's fine. They almost broke the news, but
they almost broke real news. Where like I thought the WBC was going to do like a WBSS type of deal, where we get like the best welterweights in the world fighting for a title. Nah.
We tried.
Just some pretty good welterweights and some other guys.
Oh, somebody might make a name for themselves though. Somebody might rob above the ashes. Shout outs to Brandon Davis getting a decision win. And rounding out the main card, the nicest person on earth, the golden angel of MMA.
The patron saint of the Dojotalkpodcast.
Mr. Sage Northcutt. And
I'm gonna get
about Gowdy.
I don't want to corrupt him.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that would be such a good episode. Such a good episode.
I would have talked about that.
I want Sage Northcutt's thoughts on Black Panther.
I hope Tyron Woodley I hope Woodley took him to see that movie.
Oh my god. No,
but Sage Northcutt took on Thibaut Gowdy. Real quick before I even get into like how this fight went. I know people were like mad at the decision, and like I kind of get it, but like when you go for a takedown and you literally just lay there, you get no sympathy from me. Like, you get none whatsoever. So, like, I saw a lot of people who thought, like, Gowdy should have got the decision, but Sage kind of got the hometown treatment. But it's like, bruh, I don't remember what the exact fight metrics were, but he got outlanded by a very considerable amount. And you spent... And that was what was kind of puzzling about this fight, because in the first round, like, when they were exchanging on the feet, like, Gowdy he stunned him, like, twice. And then it seemed like after the first round, he abandoned his striking for takedowns in which he would just do nothing. And then when they did stand on the feet, like, he would throw shots, but he just seemed so bent on getting a takedown. Meanwhile, Sage is, he's working the jab, throwing leg kicks, peg kicks, front kicks, just staying active. Sage does bother me, though, that his head never moves off the swivel. Luckily, that didn't get him killed this fight. Like I said, he got rocked a few times, but still found his way back into the fight. So might want to work on that. His head literally just is really stiff. Like it just stays there. It's just begging to be punched. But yeah, man. Like, Sage, I thought he just won this fight just by being more active. Like, Gowdy could have ran away with this fight, to be honest. Like, he was able to get the takedowns, and it's like you're just sitting there. Like, there's not a whole lot going on, so no pity for me that he didn't get the decision. That's kind of how I feel. But, Sage still is definitely like an unfinished product. You still look at him and you can tell, like, there's still a lot of room for improvement. But a good win nonetheless. Like, he did what he had to do to get the win. He was just the more active fighter. I feel like in the end that's probably just what won him the decision. I think so. You said you didn't catch this fight, right?
No, I didn't. Oh, you guys.
Anti-cool. Oh yeah, we had to give Stokes the play-by-play.
Yeah, I appreciate.
Anti-cool, what were you? Yeah, I had to keep you updated, let you know what the GOAT was doing. Anti-cool, what were your thoughts on the fight?
I don't remember much of it, to be honest with you. I'm reading my note on the fight now, and it just says Sage Northcutt can't fight off the cage for shit. Like, that's where, like, I think the significant strikes were like something like Gauti landed somewhere between like 14 and 25, and they were all power shots with Northcutt being like within the foot of the cage and having nowhere to go. It's like, okay, if your whole thing is you're building like an outside fighter, your number one thing should be he should be able to defend takedowns off the cage and stop people from being able to hit him along the cage. Because anytime he was inside that little black octagon in the center, he was fine. Anytime he was beyond that, he was getting his ass beat. And like he started doing better in the third round. Like he would go one way and they would come back the other. But like, Gowdy wasn't even setting them up. That's the scary part. Like, he was literally just chucking like, these big hooks, and they were catching Sage almost every single time. The only reason Gowdy lost the fight is because he would like blast Northcutt with the hook and then like immediately dive on his legs.
All right. Like, I almost feel like if he would have kept it on the feet, he probably could have got like a TKO eventually.
Yeah.
As many times as he rocked him, but yeah, his game plan, I don't really know what it was, but it was kind of it was yeah. But the GOAT got his W. That's all that matters.
and just because I know Joey mentioned it during the fight, a lot of Gowdy's takedowns weren't takedowns; they were mat returns.
I feel like we mentioned that last podcast too. But yeah, I don't know what Gowdy's game plan was, but Yeah, that's why he got no sympathy from me
was to
when the
lose.
judges didn't. But Sage going Sage. He got the W. Yeah, he definitely has some room for improvement, but I still think that the Team Alpha Male move definitely has helped him a lot. Like he looks a lot better than what I remember seeing him before from when he first came over.
Dude, get rid of his dad,
So-
please. His dad's still in
I
his
mean,
corner.
you can't get rid of your dad. It's kind of hard, he's in the Lonzo Ball situation where it's kind of like, your pops kind of helped you get this far. You probably can't really get rid of him. He's just gonna be there, and you're just kind of gonna have to deal with it. But yeah, man, good on Sage. He got a decision win. That was the main card. These prelims we can kind of blast through because almost all of them were finishes minus one fight. So I guess to continue on down, Carlos Diego Ferreira and Jared Gordon. Also, a quick side note, I don't remember a ton of these fights, even though I did watch all of them. Memory might be a bit spotty. But Carlos Diego Ferreira, after 2 nut shots, got a TKO over Jared Gordon. That finish was pretty nasty, though. So I think he dropped Gordon with a left, and then they go to the ground, and I thought he was going for a submission at first. Couldn't really tell what he was doing, because he grabbed Gordon's arm and had it twisted behind his back. So I thought he was just going for some kind of submission or something. But he did the high school schoolyard bully move, and he kept his arm wrapped around Gordon's back and just held it there, and with his other free hand just pounded away on this man's face, and there was just nothing he could do about it. And
there were some
yeah.
there was some moments of real genuine scrappy innovation on this card, and this was one of them.
I'd never seen. I don't know if what he did has a name. I've never seen anybody do I mean, you see people trap arms so that you can't move, and they can just kind of. It was the way he did it. I don't remember. I can't think of anybody I've seen who pulled it off.
Yeah, this is some straight up say uncle type stuff.
You're right. This could have been in the movie Bloodsport. A fight in Bloodsport could have ended like this, with somebody holding your arm and just blasting your face until you just can't fight anymore.
Justin Ferreira, who was out for 2 years because he tested positive on some drug. Who knows? Probably roids. But yeah, he was gone for 2 years. He comes back and he knocks out Jared Gordon, who was a legitimate, skilled opponent. Maybe not a top lightweight, but I don't know. Ferreira, when he got to the UFC, was considered a top prospect. He was a blue chip prospect. Maybe this is him. Maybe he spent the 2 years away actually getting better. I don't know. So
Whatever he did, it worked. Keep doing that. I would love to see somebody else pull that off. That is a vicious way to finish somebody. But yeah. So that was a pretty nasty TKO. Next fight going on down the list, Jeff Neal and Brian Camozzi. I think this was Jeff Neal's debut in the UFC.
yes.
He just seemed to be the more skilled fighter, all around. Not to make it sound mean, but dude was just more athletic, cleaner on the feet. Yeah, he just pieced Camozzi up. I don't really know how else to say it. he just kind of
His
pieced
last name wasn't
Camozzi up,
Camozzi,
man.
that's why he won.
Right. Good on Jeff Neal, man. That's a good debut performance. He honestly, I don't remember the finishing sequence, but he won by a rear naked
He won by
choke.
bulldog choke.
Oh yeah. Didn't Camozzi still have a knee on the ground? Yeah.
He just bulldog choked Camusa. Like I'm not sure if it was like he got rocked or if it was a headbutt or whatever, but like as soon as like I want to say Neil just kind of pushed him over along the fence, and like he was just completely out of it, and then Neil just walked his head up in the bulldog choke.
It worked. He pieced him up, choked him out, got him out of there, and yeah, good on Jeff Neal.
Camosi's now 0-3 in the UFC. He's lost all his fights by stoppage.
Damn.
He is Chris. He is not.
Not at all. Not at all.
See you later, man.
Did you catch these prelim Stokes?
Yeah, I caught this one. I didn't catch the one. Who was it? The one after. I just didn't catch Sage and the one before that.
The Fahea Gordon fight.
Yeah. I caught this.
You gotta go back and watch that. You gotta go watch that bully beatdown. That's exactly what that finish was. What you thinking of the Neil fight?
Good. I don't remember much besides the submission and then the crowd pop, and then that was about it. Cause he was actually like from Austin, right?
Yeah, he was hometown.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
So yeah, shout outs to Neil, hometown kid getting the W in pretty good fashion.
Oh wait,
fight,
I just remembered a bit of Texas trivia now that you mentioned that.
All right.
No, my homeboy was he was in Texas like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he sent me this picture of a map. Apparently, there's a place in Texas called White Settlement.
Oh no!
It is a city in Texas. It is very real.
White settlement. maybe like the rocks there are white.
Oh boy, let me hit my Googles real quick.
I'm looking at like pictures of the town, and there's a water tank that says White Settlement. It has a fighter jet on the side of it, and the tagline is "On the Crossroads of Progress."
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
White Settlement is in Tarrant County, Texas, northwestern suburb of Fort Worth. Oh man, if anybody out there is in Texas and you can tell us about White Settlement, let us know what's going on in White Settlement.
Oh my God, I almost died right there.
Yeah,
this is like this is where Get Out was filmed. Like I'm just looking at pictures of it. It's just like houses and random like police officers. This place looks terrible.
Oh man. Oh man, but yeah, shout out to Jeff Neal in White Settlement. Next fight, Roberto Sanchez, who I think was also a hometown kid, and Joby Sanchez. I don't remember much of this fight other than Sanchez. I think it was just like, Roberto, because they're both Sanchez. Roberto was kind of like hanging out on his back. Oh no, he like tripped him, and what am I thinking of? I might be getting my fight.
Yes, Roberto hit a takedown on Sanchez early. Sanchez tried to to swing out for what's it called? He tried to hit a switch, so he sent his hips out and ended up getting his back taken in the process. Then he stood up with Roberto on his back, and then Roberto got one arm underneath his chin, and just dragged him to the ground where he tapped out.
Shout out to Roberto, who mentioned, he was like, dude, I have an office job, and I actually like my office job. I just do this for fun.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
That's how you get.
Roberto clocks in for 8 hours, then he comes home, then he chokes you guys out, and then he goes back to his office job. So, shout outs to Roberto holding it down for all the office workers
Shout
out
out
there.
to Shane Carwin, the ultimate professional person, the engineer by day, UFC heavyweight title challenger by night.
I was almost hoping his comeback would have happened.
I mean,
Same here.
all that I've learned since Shane Carwin is semi-returned when he fought that one dude with like one arm tied behind his back is that he's a giant nerd. Because you saw how he announced that he was signed to Ryzen, right?
Oh, he signed to Ryzen?
He did when they first they first emerged, and he was just never able to he just never felt like making over there, I guess. And he announced it on Reddit, and the title of the damn thread was "He is Ryzen."
That's why he never made it over. Oh man, but shouts to Roberto.
The first UFC event I ever went to was UFC 106, and that shit was originally Brock versus Carwin, but then I forgot who got injured. It was it might have been Brock. I don't remember, or Carwin. But yeah, fucking Carwin's gonna always be attached to my memory just because of that. The event that he didn't show up at.
I still remember watching him and Brock. I'll never forget that fight. Never forget that fight. Carwin was a scary dude, man. That dude was.
For like 3 minutes at a time, Shane Carwin was the scariest motherfucker.
Right. Like on Earth.
Dude, I thought he was gonna beat Brock. Fucking, I picked him to beat Brock.
I mean, if you ask him, he did.
I mean, he won 99.9% of the fight.
Just not the percentage that mattered.
Right.
Without googling it, do you guys remember who replaced him as the main event at 106?
I feel like I should.
Oh, so who dropped out?
Brock and Carwin.
They both dropped out?
Yeah, or just that. That was the scheduled main event, and then it got replaced by the co-main.
Did it get bumped from a pay-per-view to like a TV card?
No, it was still pay-per-view.
Was it Evans versus Evans versus Thiago Santos?
Same weight class, but no.
Rashad and Rampage?
No. These guys have fought in a trilogy at 205.
Oh, was it Forrest and Tito?
Yep, got it.
Oh man, that was a fun trilogy. I
know, I got to see.
Wasn't that the one where I think a lot of people thought Tito won the last fight? And he didn't get the nod. Because I think Forrest won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ran out the cage before they announced the results of the fight.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of people were pissed about that, but I hate Tito, so
I love Tito. That's why I was still like, oh, all right. At least I still get to see Tito.
See, Tito should be on Bellator commentary.
You know what? I probably wouldn't mind Tito.
He is god awful at public speaking, but that would make it fun.
Right. At least I could laugh. I can't laugh at Chill. Chill just makes me annoyed.
Cringe.
Like, I just don't like hearing him speak. If he's not hyping up a fight, and I don't even really like when he does that, but if he's not talking about fighting somebody else, I don't care for his commentary. It doesn't do it for me. But oh man, those were good times too. Good MMA times.
Overpaid for the goddamn tickets because it was Brock and Carwin. Goddamn it.
Oh man. This next fight, I wish I remembered a bit more, because I feel like I was entertained while I was watching this, but I can't remember much of it. Lucy Pudilova and Sarah Morris, or Marias, I'm not sure how that's pronounced. I remember this being like a pretty entertaining scrap, but I only watched this fight once, because this was the one fight in real time that I missed.
Yeah. The fight opens with like Marias going for a takedown. She got it. Was on top for like 3.5, 4 minutes. The ref, like, she was working, like she was trying to work. Pudilova was trying to like stall out. the ref eventually was just like, you know what, screw it, stand them up. And then Pudilova went to work and just started beating the shit out of her. Like, almost immediately, actually. It was actually really weird. My favorite part of the fight is Pudilova starting to beat up on her. Some Moraes goes for, like, so they're on the ground, and Moraes goes for an armbar. Pudilova stands up to stack her, and then Moraes, instead of just, like, committing to the armbar, decides, you know what, fuck it, I have a wrist. So she just starts up kicking her. I'm like, damn, that's something I haven't seen before.
Innovation.
Exactly.
Hey,
And
that's how you get noticed.
Pudilova managed to, like, they weren't very hard, so Pudilova just kind of, like, pushed them to the side and got side control.
This was a flyweight fight.
No, bantamweight.
Bantamweight? Oh, snap.
Pudilova is big as crap. Like, she's listed at 5'8", but I think she's a little taller.
She looks tall.
And she's long.
Well, that's good. Bantamweight needs any new face at this point that they can get.
She's only 23 too, so.
There you go.
Put her on the slow track. Give her like Beth Correa next.
Try not to ruin her too.
Like,
I mean, try not to ruin Betch.
No,
try not to ruin Lucia.
Oh, I was gonna say Betch ruined herself.
Man, I've actually spent the weekend putting together a list of fighters at women's bantamweight who I want the UFC to sign. Eventually I'll find a way to like write that up into like a thing. But there's this woman, Luz Vasquez from Argentina, who's 29 years old. She's an Olympic wrestler from Argentina. Like if you watch her fight and then you watch like the bottom of the women's bantamweight fight, like the athletic gap is just so stunning. And you're like, why the fuck are they signing these types of women who are out there?
Hey man, after that Ronda Rousey head kick, Dana flipped the table over and they just gave up on the whole division. There's nobody cared anymore.
Like people liked Misha Tate and Holly Holm. I guess they couldn't get behind Amanda Nunes because she wasn't like, I don't know, like pretty enough. Dana.
She just needed to dye her hair a different color.
She just needed blonde.
if we're being honest, she just needed to dye her hair a different color.
Just make her blonde.
Yeah, I'll never understand how they dropped the ball on that one. Like she literally had everything you could have asked for. And
her upcoming fight with Rocky Pennington is going to be the first like major combat sports competition between two openly LGBT fighters. Like you can't tell me there's not a market for that.
It's not the UFC's market. That's the thing.
Not at all.
Yeah, I mean it was Ronda's, but I guess Ronda's just came easy.
Well, we'll see. But shout out to Lucy. Anybody at bantamweight trying to make some noise.
2-1 in the division. Arguably should be 3-0. But she remember that beatdown she put on Lena Landsberg, where she had Lena Landsberg's face looking like something out of like a horror movie.
Oh snap! I didn't remember that was her.
Yeah.
Shout out to her, man. Keep me. I mean, I'm pretty sure at bantamweight, like it probably won't take her too long to get to the top. Like that division's, I feel like it's gone the way of 205. Like if you can get a little mini streak going, you'll probably get a big name pretty quick.
See, that worries me though, because like that's the thing with like this division and like light heavyweight. Like it doesn't take much to get to the top, but once you get to the top, you gotta fight Amanda Nunes and Holly Holm and freaking Kat Zingano. Like those are tough.
Things can go wrong.
Like, those are fights you gotta be prepped for, and fighting Beth Correa probably isn't the best preparation for any of them.
Right. But good on her for the decision win. Both these last two fights ended really quick. Alex Morono choked out Josh Berkman in a very tight guillotine choke. I don't remember much else of the fight other than that, to be honest. Did he drop him before then? I thought.
Like they weren't even. I don't think they were even clean punches. I think they're like grazing, and like Berkman just kind of just like his body spazzed out. I could be wrong on that, but that's what I remember. Dude, I am just uncomfortable watching Berkman fight. It's like watching Big Nog at the end of his career. Like,
dude, Berkman's last win was against KJ Noon.
That fight was awful.
Damn.
Is KJ? Does he even fight anymore?
Where is KJ?
Nope. Berkman was his last fight.
Damn.
And he hasn't fought since. Oh man.
I hate it.
Berkman has dropped. Berkman's dropped 5 straight.
Was it because of his rivalry with the Diaz brothers?
You fucking know it. 209 till I die. Do you see the area code on my phone, anti-cool?
Oh man. But yeah, I don't know. Morono might have got Berkman out of here, like really out of here.
Goodbye forever out of here.
Yeah, that might have been a retirement chokeout. But I mean, good on Morono. Good finish. Really tight guillotine. Yeah, not really much else to dissect too much into that fight. And the last fight on the card, Oscar Piechota and Tim Williams. Piechota is now 11-0. Ended by KO. Did you think they stopped this bit early, or you thought
that's fine?
Fine.
Tim Williams does not need to have any more damage done to his face. Well, no, like he's called the South Jersey Strangler for a reason. It's because he looks like a serial killer.
Oh man. Well, he caught some hands. He caught the hands, and he got punched on out of here. Piechota's 2-0 in the UFC.
Yes. Who did he beat? He beat
Jonathan Wilson.
Yes, Johnny Bravo. There we go.
So, yeah, that was unless you guys had any really thoughts on it, really a whole lot to.
Why are all the Polish prospects like out of like? Why are all the Polish prospects middleweights?
I mean, I'm not mad. That division needs it.
I mean, yeah, but like the actual good one just ended up fighting in Poland his whole entire career. But like Jatko and Materla and like Kaladev and this dude and like it's just really weird that this is division that thrives in Poland seemingly.
They should just have a Polish middleweight tournament in the UFC.
I mean,
that could be the next tough Polish middleweights.
Yeah, might as well. You know what? Where is it?
I want to throw a name out there. If you guys remember, he's not Polish, but whatever happened to Adam Khalif?
Adam Khalif?
Remember the I think he was like a taekwondo dude from Russia. He had
Kaliev.
Yeah.
He retired because he thought the sport was bad for Islam or something. And then like it's being teased that he's coming back.
Did he realize the sport was bad before or after he tornado kicked that? I think that would have been an indicator. And he went on to fight like 5 more times after that.
I don't know. Maybe it was just something he came to like later. I mean, it sucks for us.
Yeah, dude was undefeated. I remember like looking forward to seeing him debut. Like I thought he was gonna come over, and it just I don't know why he just kind of popped in my head, but yeah, it just never happened.
But
I mean,
I want to say like every few months, I want to say there's like a rumor that he's coming back.
Right. But I mean, if he wants to retire for that, I can't hold that against you. But as a fan, it sucks because You know, I want to see those tornado kicks in the UFC. I want to see you tornado kick somebody in front of like 20,000
Oh wait,
people.
if that's
But-
the case, the King of Kung Fu, Muslim Salikov. I forgot to mention this one. He's gonna be fighting at UFC on Fox 29 against Abdul Razak Al Hassan. So he's gonna get a guy who's gonna strike with him.
That could be fun. That should be an interesting fight. God, I hope he doesn't somehow get KO'd. That would suck.
He's going to eventually.
We'll see. Yeah, but you don't want to start off 0-2. That's not a good it's not a good prospect record.
Who? Are you talking about Muslim?
Yeah, because he lost his first fight, right?
I thought he won his first fight.
No, he
No?
lost to Alex Garcia.
No, he lost.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which, all fairness, that's a bad first matchup to give your striker whose best win is like Melvin Gillard,
Right.
and you're like a welterweight. Oh wow. There's also a good chance Adam Kaliev is like in the Russian mafia right now. I just remembered that.
All right, so that's why we don't
I mean-
see you.
I mean, he is from Chechnya. He's from Grozny. Like, he's probably running with Kadyrov.
Oh, guess we know why we haven't seen him then. But that was pretty much UFC Fight Night 126. I actually enjoyed this card. Like, it was the prelims flew by because everybody got finished almost. We got some nice KOs, some good violence, some good debuts by a few people. We got Black Beast, which is always a treat. We got an unexpected Nate Diaz blunt moment, which was just awesome. So yeah, and then, capped off with the main event, the end of the way that went. Yeah, I was pretty pleased with this card. Like, wasn't sure how it would turn out on paper, but it ended up being pretty good. I guess real quick before we get into shots and shout outs, just because there were a few other cards and fights that went on this weekend, I just want to give a quick mention to Glory 50 went down. Can't remember if that was Friday or Saturday. Friday night. All these fights were happening like simultaneously. I was switching between everything. I guess the main fights worth of note. We now have a new Glory welterweight champion, Murto Groenhart, lost by KO to what is Gregorian's first name?
Is it Harut or Marut? That's one of those.
I hate that Glory does this on their website. They don't. Yeah, Harut Gregorian. He won by KO. Some people were not pleased with the stoppage. Thought it got stopped a bit early. But kind of is what it is. So we now have a new welterweight champ in Glory. So shout outs to Gregorian. And the gentleman who won the heavyweight tournament, what is his name? I'm trying to click on the page. I can't get it to show up. Is it this Eddie Gubui? I don't know how to.
Oh, I've been something. Yeah.
That guy, whose name I can't pronounce.
Benjamin
he won
Adebuyi.
He won the heavyweight. This actually was kind of a wild match because I think Tafa was a replacement because the other guy, who I can't remember, the other guy who was scheduled to be in that fight, he had won his previous match, but I think he got injured.
It was good in the center
or something. Yeah, and he couldn't go on, so they grabbed Tafa, threw him in there.
I mean, Tafa was the dude who lost.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they grabbed the dude who lost, threw him in the the finals because there was nobody else to take the spot. So, and I mean, Tafa tried, but he kind of got beat up on. But so that happened. I caught that card kind of like in spurts. But it seemed like a pretty good card from what I saw. And also LFA 33 went down this weekend. Notable things that happened. Was this the main event? Who was the main event?
Willis and Stewart.
Why do they not have? They don't have the. Okay, it's weird. On the site I'm on, they don't have the fights listed in order. But Kyle Stewart, now 9-0, won over Jaleel Willis. Also, other notable notes: former UFC, I think he was actually in LFA too. Damon Jackson, he was in the co-main event. He got a arm triangle choke over Chris Perico. Let's see, and also
Kevin Wirth.
Oh yeah, Kevin Wirth won via Sweet Chin Music. KO'd Isaiah Gutierrez. Macy Barber, who's been a prospect I've been hearing about. She's now 3-0. Got a rear naked choke over Kayla Thompson. And just because it's news, Greg Hardy, who, he's now 3-0. Yeah, he beat Ryan. I didn't even know he was on this card. I saw the clip and didn't even realize it was.
Yeah, he's an amateur.
All right, he's 3-0 in his MMA career. Breaking news: we just lost Stokes.
Oh, yeah, he said he couldn't hear, so I'm assuming he's calling.
I'm back. I'm back.
You back?
I'm back.
All right.
Okay, there we go. All right, breaking news: we got Stokes back.
All right.
I think I hate to say it, but I think Joy's right, and Greg Hardy's going to end up in Bellator or the UFC, and I'm going to hate myself and life in general.
I could see him in Bellator. I could.
I can see him in the UFC because they freaking signed Cody East. They held a show. They forced Legacy to hold a show specifically for the purpose of signing Cody East.
But that went down. Quick minute, I might be late on this. I wanted to mention the tension. What's the guy's name? You showed me him. When was that? Because that wasn't this weekend, but that was.
I want to say it was February 12th. Because I have the fight saved on my phone. I haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
Oh, it was good. It was good stuff. it was probably like you've seen him a lot more than I have, and most of the fights I've seen him in, he's been giving dudes the work. Like he definitely won this fight, I thought, but the other guy's name was Suakim. I can't remember what.
Suakim Tortai.
Yeah, Suakim got some good shots off in like the fourth and fifth, but it was probably one of like Tension's most competitive fights, I would say. But I still think like he clearly won. But like there were moments where like he definitely had to work for it. But like that kid, there was a combination he threw in that fight that looked like straight out of like a movie. Like it was some Matrix. Like he threw like a jab, and right behind the jab, he transitions to like a capoeira kick or something. Like it was wild. I've never seen anything like that. Like that kid that dude's special, man. That like, guy is.
So Sisor Tai is like not like he's not a random dude. Like there's a dude who at Tension's weight won the Lumpini like Stadium Championship, which is basically legit as it gets in Muay Thai. So like this is like a world class striker. He was actually ranked, like he moved up a weight class, was actually ranked in the top 10 in that weight class as well. Like dude is a legit striker. And Tenshin Asakawa at 19 years old is out here not styling on him, obviously. Like it was a competitive fight, but like giving work.
Yeah.
So that dude's ceiling for like whichever sport he ends up doing full time is so high, and like imagine him like committing to MMA full time.
Yeah, that dude. If if he just had takedown defense and dudes couldn't take him down and they were forced to stand, he's killing people. Like. That dude, I mean, shout outs to Suakim because like he ate a lot of hard shots, but he was game, man. Like he never stopped. Like he was keeping himself in the fight. But yeah, Tension, that dude he's a beast, man. That kid.
They took down the fight.
Ah, Is it not on the site that shall not be named? Because I was watching it earlier.
Well, we'll go check there. Because
All right. Can't give away our sources. But if I can find it, because I was watching it earlier. I watched it this morning when I woke up. If I can find my same link, I'll send it to you. But yeah, man. So a lot of awesome fights that happened this weekend. Wasn't there a boxing KO? Didn't somebody get knocked out?
Danny Garcia absolutely destroyed everything about Brandon Rios' world. Like a 9th round KO.
Yeah, I didn't catch the fight, but I saw the film.
From what I understand, it was a pretty good fight. Like, it was a typical Danny Garcia fight, I guess. Where, like, it seemed closer than it really was because Danny Garcia is kind of passive, especially early. But there was that fight. There was the World Boxing Super Series Super Middleweight semifinal between George Groves and Chris Eubank Jr., which was amazing. Like Chris Eubank Jr., the king of like parabolic pugilism, like where he's just like winging shit, and everything's just like he throws no straight punches, and it's hilarious. But that was one of the better fights of the weekend actually. Groves versus Eubank. Eubank ended up taking a decision, and for what it was worth, the best fight of the weekend was the top ranked card on Friday. Raimundo Beltran versus what was it, Paulus Moses? Moses is like, I don't know. Do you guys know about like Beltran's story?
No.
So like this dude is like, so basically he spent the past year not being able to fight. Was it the past year or like he's been having trouble getting fights because he's not sure about his legal status in the U.S. So he's been like a professional sparring partner for most of like the past year and a half or so. Like he legitimately thought he was going to get like deported at a certain point.
I found the fight.
Thank
by
you.
The way.
But when they got there, I took it down. Yay! All right, I'm gonna get to that after we're done here. But like, he legitimately thought he was going to get like deported. Like he has kids here and everything like that. He just recently received like, I want to say resident with what's that word, distinction, because of his boxing career. So this was like his first. Like he was fighting for a world title. Like the narrative was like, oh, like he's old. This is like his last shot at the world championship, and it was just like really heartwarming stuff to see him win. Even though I thought he lost, I thought the dude he fought, Moses, is a police officer from Namibia. And he fought his ass off. Like, good God, that was like such a good fight. Like the president of Namibia ended up tweeting out like congratulations to them, both of them. It was just really cool to see. Like this fight obviously had a lot more meaning in like Namibia for like Moses than it did for like the random Joe here, but like it's just really cool to see. Like I'm happy Moses will probably get another day on like TV here in the States. But yeah, no, like there was some really great boxing on it. David Benavidez fought too.
Was he the 1,000 puncher?
He rematched Gavril, the guy who he beat for his first world title, and beat him more soundly this time. So shouts to him.
Did he 1,000 punch anybody?
Not yet. No. Funny thing though, that guy did fight. The guy who got knocked out by that like 20,000 punch barrage.
Oh man.
He also fought on the I want to say the Beltran Moses undercard. So
I'm glad he's still alive.
Yeah, he did not look good.
Ooh, I'd imagine. You get 20-piece KO. That's just yeah, that's brain damage. That's oof. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Yeah.
I would not wish that on anybody. But yeah, man, this was a really just awesome weekend of fights. Like no matter what combat sport you were into, there was something for you that was on. Like it was a lot going on. So What we got? Saturday coming up.
UFC on Fox
what's this?
28. Emmett versus Stevens.
Is there anything else we got? Yeah, Emmett versus Stevens coming up.
More accurately, Torres versus Andrade.
There we go. That's an interesting fight. I like Torres. I hope she doesn't get her head knocked off.
I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's going down. I think that's like the only.
Wait, no, I have the things right here.
I think in terms of February, I think that's like the last.
There's a one card next week.
Who's that?
Song Machado.
On Long Song.
Long Song.
He's going for his second belt, right?
I think he's defending his belt.
Oh.
I can't
He was
tell.
going for a second belt for some reason.
Light heavy. He has the light heavyweight championship, right?
Is light heavy or middle? I thought he had middle.
Yeah, I thought he had middle, and he's going for light heavyweight.
Yeah, you guys might be right. Middleweight. Yeah, all right. He's challenging for the vacant light heavyweight title. Just everybody, like all the titles in one are going to be owned by like 5 guys.
That's the new thing now, man. It's not enough to win one. You gotta win both. Shout out to Ong Song though, man. He trains here in Maryland at Crazy 88.
I only know him because he fought Uriah Hall in Bellator years ago. If there's any Luke Barnett fans, he's going to be fighting at ACB 81, like next week, next Saturday. There's a Cage Warriors card, there's a Deep card, and there's a bunch of Russian cards. Oh, and there's a Superfly card next week, which is unequivocally the best card of the weekend. Sirsaket Sor Rungsvisai versus Juan Francisco Estrada. Rungsvisai is the dude who knocked out Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Juan Francisco Estrada is the dude who fought Carlos Cuadras in that fight last year that if it wasn't for Joshua Klitschko, it might have been fight of the year. Like legit, like blood and guts type deal.
So more violence.
Yes.
This month will end with more violence, and then they even got more violence coming in March. So Isn't there like a skid coming up soon though, where we're not gonna get fights for like a month?
Yes, thank God. Like I hate to say it, but like this is especially with like the lack of big contender fights. Like this has been a grind.
Sometimes I look forward to those breaks, but then when I'm in the middle of them, I'm like, oh my God, like nobody's gonna get head kicked.
I mean, dude, there'll be fights. If you'll need to get your UFC fix to get a fight, you feel me?
Yeah, that's true.
But like, I want to say 220. Yep.
I think we lost those again.
I want to say 222 is going to be like. There's going to be a week. The week after 222, it's going to be there's going to be like a week off. Then that week after that, it's fuck, what was it? I know this.
Volkov
Verdum. There we go.
Verdum.
And then we get like a month off until like the Fox card.
Yeah. That break is worth it though, because after we're doing Volkov, we get a long break, but we come back to Ferguson and Habib.
Gaethje, Poirier.
Yeah. So I mean, well, some of these other cards have yet to be like scheduled with like headliners, but these breaks will be rewarded. Like that's the moral of the story.
I mean, I could use the extra time off. You feel me? Like,
yeah, I mean, there'll be time off in fights, but I'm pretty sure I'll still be putting out episodes.
Like, not like from record. I mean, from like, I come home from work on Saturday, and I got a 7-hour slog where like I'm enjoying myself, and then it cuts itself off because some guy got lucky and knocked somebody out in 30 seconds, and now I gotta wait 25 minutes for the next card.
Yeah,
It's the gift and the curse.
This is the life we chose.
I chose nothing.
try to-
I am an addict. Every podcast I do is a cry for help, man.
Hey, well, you've cried for help 73 times, and we're still going. I tried to get Stokes back on. We might have just lost him. I don't know what happened.
We got lost to the ether.
Yeah. Stokes, you get a parting shout out. If you don't come back on this episode, we just kind of lost him. But we'll let him get his shout outs off if he comes back. So yeah, that's. Oh, is he back?
He lives.
You back? There we go. I gave you a parting shout out in case you didn't come back, but you're back.
back from the dead twice.
But real quick before we go to parting shots and shout outs, just thanks to all the listeners who continue to listen. As always, this podcast can be listened to on SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes. You want iTunes, rate and subscribe. Google Play, send emails to dojotalkpodcast@yahoo.com. All that good stuff. And just give a quick shout outs to some cities. Top cities within the last 7 days. We have listeners from Charlestown, Indiana, Queenstown, Maryland, Centreville, Maryland. We got 2 people holding it down in Mansour, Egypt.
I'm sorry, what?
No, shout out to Egypt. I dig it.
I feel bad for
We
calling the
got-
country a 1FC feeder league.
And now we just lost both of those listeners. But we got Egypt in the building, Seattle, Washington, Ashburn, Virginia, San Jose, California, Oakland, California, Kuwait, Houston, and Ashburn, Virginia. So yeah, shout outs to all of those cities who've been listening. This podcast grows by word of mouth. That's the best way for us to get more listeners. So I mean, if you listen and you're entertained, and you can sit through all of our ramblings and such, share with a friend, and hopefully they'll be entertained too. Oh, shout out to people in India.
Super Fight League.
Somebody in India. Right.
we eventually have to find time to go through
Right.
every single Super Fight League card.
Oh my god.
Like
Oh,
maybe
man.
we do like a
They got-
live simulcast on like YouTube or something.
They got like a.
I definitely want to
three-day
do it. I
tournament.
definitely want to do that.
Oh yeah,
I definitely want to do a
They
simulcast.
just came
What
back.
happened?
They're doing like the fights in the gym and stuff.
Aren't those like viciously brutal?
Yes.
Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think.
Yeah. All right. One of these days, yeah. I would love to do a simulcast. So that would be awesome. We have to figure this out. But shout outs to everybody listening, man. All these cities. Just remember, share with a friend. Spread the love. We appreciate you guys for listening. With that being said, time for parting shots and shout outs. Actually, 2 of my shout outs I did during the episode. So, in the spirit of Black History Month, I will continue my Black History shout outs until this month is over. You know what? I might keep it going after that. Who cares? It's going to be Black History Year. But, anywho, shout outs to Daryl Bubba Wallace Jr. He is a NASCAR driver who got second place in the Daytona 500. I'm guessing that took place sometime this weekend. I'm not exactly sure. But he, I believe, for an African American, that is the highest rank any of us have ever gotten in a NASCAR race. So,
We're coming for that white
Okay.
trash sport, man.
hey, we're about to take over. He's kicking down the door, and we're about to bring the rest of us are coming. I won't be there, but there'll be some.
I
other
can't
people.
wait to. I can't wait till all the NASCAR people just stop watching NASCAR because
It's gonna be the black and brown takeover. they just discard the whole sport.
like, I'm honestly surprised it hasn't happened yet, man.
No, it's not enough.
With like black car culture and everything. You feel me?
Yeah. We'll see. We gotta give it some years. But shout outs to Bubba Wallace Jr. I didn't see the race, but I watched the video. He was like crying during the post fight. I said post fight. It was not a fight. But like the post conference after the race, you know, he had a moment with his. What'd you say?
Fight against white society.
Yeah, right.
Fight against prejudice, bro.
There you
Exactly.
go. But, yeah, he had a moment with his mom. You know, they were crying because of his accomplishment. But that was awesome. So, you know, acknowledging. I want to for my Black History shout outs. I want to acknowledge people who are still alive, who are still like doing things as of now, who I think will end up in history books later down the road. And with that being said, my final shout outs to Ryan Coogler, man. The gentleman who directed Black Panther. Like, this dude is only like 31 years old, and he's like 3 for 3. He had Fruitvale Station, which was great. Depressing movie, but huh? He had that. He had Creed, which admittedly I have not watched, but I've heard good things about. And then he just did Black Panther, which is breaking all kinds of records right now. So, like, to be 31, to be only 31 years old, and to have like those 3 movies under your belt, and those movies be as successful like as they have been, like that's a really big accomplishment. Like this dude is, and I've already heard rumors about them talking about Black Panther sequel, and you know he'll definitely be on board for that. So
like that seems like a no-brainer because Black Panther is probably going to end up like with $1 billion.
Yep.
Yeah. So shout outs to Coogler, man. Like he at 31, man. This dude, a lot of like directors, they don't get that big break at that young of an age. Like, so he's got a long future ahead of him in directing films and all of that good stuff. And he's been knocking them out the park. So shout outs to Ryan Coogler, man. He's definitely knocking down doors, and I would only hope that, you know, there'll be a lot of people hopefully that can follow behind him and, you know, bring some more diversity to Hollywood. So, but shout outs to Ron Coogler and Bubba Wallace Jr. And that is all I got for my shout out.
I had a couple lined up, but since you brought up Black History Month, I'm going to bring up Devontae Smith-Pelly. So I don't know if either one of you saw this, but during a hockey game, I want to say yesterday or the day before, Washington Capitals forward Devontae Smith-Pelly, and yes, I'm reading that because I don't know what hockey positions are, was in the penalty box and was getting harassed by Chicago fans who were screaming basketball at him. Because you guys
have...
Yeah, because you guessed that he's black.
Yeah. First, I was going to insult the insult. Because I'm trying to imagine, like, you're just in a hockey arena and you just hear a bunch of people chanting out basketball. Like, you guys need to step your insult game up. Like that. You got a bunch of losers.
But my shout out is for Pelly for not, like, going through the glass.
Right. And just throwing hands.
And just handling business with the stick. You feel me? Because that's what I would do. Because I have anger issues. And poor self-control.
Same.
Oh, man.
But
hey, we're in hockey. We're in NASCAR. It's going down, man.
Once we get swimming, it's over.
That you know what? No, I can't say I'm surprised that hasn't happened. I kind of am.
Yeah, we got some long ass arms, man.
Yeah, that's what I feel like our bodies are like built like that. That should be a sport we should be.
I can't tell me if Rajon Rondo had grown up in a pool, he would have been a beast. But
Didn't y'all watch the All-Star
I
game?
got
I mean, Tim Duncan, like he's from the Virgin Islands, but like, isn't he like half black or something? Like,
I think so.
yeah, he started off as a swimmer before he got into basketball.
See, he done fucked up. He could have won like 20 gold medals.
No, he did right. He got my Spurs like 5 rings. So.
I mean,
Tim, I appreciate you, Tim Duncan. Oh man.
But,
Tim Duncan is like top 10. Just saying.
well, I got a much more. I got 2 dour ones if y'all want to hear them.
All right, let's go.
So I don't know if you guys heard, but Alexi Olenek's daughter, she was a student at the Parkland High School, I believe it was, that got shot up on Thursday.
No.
Yeah, thankfully she made it out okay. But as many of you know, 17 students did not. So just not really a shout out, but thoughts and prayers with their family. Thoughts and all the power to the students out there marching the street, showing up at like the NRA's headquarters, just putting them on blast. They're apparently supposed to meet with the president this week. That's gonna be hilarious.
Boy, that is gonna be.
That's gonna be a shit show.
Yeah, that is. Ooh, boy, that is not gonna be good.
I expect one of them to be arrested for throwing something at him. But you know, just something that was tangentially MMA related, and I don't think this made the news over here, but there was a big earthquake in Mexico last Friday, in Oaxaca. I think it was like a 7.5 on the scale and everything. So you know, just a little bit of that reality to hit y'all with before we leave. Let's end this on the proper note. Shout out to at John Jones on Twitter. who went to his very first MMA event this weekend. Bellator 194.
Love it.
Oh man, shout out to John Jones. I was wondering why he was popping up a lot on my news feed.
Like props to him because this dude had to deal with all the racist, vile shit that fans have tweeted to John Jones for the past like 5-6 years. And he somehow came away with the idea that he wanted to be a fan of the sport. I want to say he binge watched Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz's fights last week. He was live tweeting about it.
Oh man,
funny guy.
He needs to put him on the podcast.
Oh yo, there we go. Well, he did. He also did MMA fighting, so he might be too big for us.
Oh man, shout out to him, man. He takes all of the comments that go his way that shouldn't go his way. He takes them all in stride. So, yeah, shout out to him. I was wondering why he was popping up everywhere lately. Any last shout out, Stokes?
Yeah. Well, since you mentioned Fruitvale Station, like shout out to that movie and rest in peace to Oscar Grant. That shit happened like a couple hours away from me. Still fighting the good fight for him. Shout out to Lonzo Ball. His album just dropped last week. Certified classic. I'm not just saying that.
That reminds me. Joey came up with the idea. Mike, for you, I want you have to review Macho Man Randy Savage's rap album. Be a man.
You know what's bad? I don't have a copy of it, but I know somebody who does, and I could probably get it by the end of the night. I could probably have that sent to me.
It's on Spotify. I was bumping that shit.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that existed.
You did? Oh no, I remember when that came out, man. That was.
Dude, I want you to review that, and I want you to review John Cena's album. And I want you
No.
to tell me which one you think is better.
I don't know if I can sit. I don't know if I can sit through a Cena album.
I can't see this one. You can't say.
Because I feel like with Macho Man, I can get I'll get some chuckles. I'll get a good laugh. Cena, I don't think I'm gonna laugh at all. It's gonna be.
Who was the dude who helped him do it? Was it Idea or Elastic or what his name is?
Please don't. Did Idea help him do that? Really?
Like he's friends with some Boston rapper who's like real like.
The only
I'm gonna Google
Boston rapper I know is Hoodie Allen.
Guru. From
Like the Guru.
From Gangstar.
No,
What?
shut up. Don't lie to me.
Jesus Christ.
I what? Yeah, he's from Roxbury, Massachusetts.
Did not know that.
You know who I found out used to rap back in the day?
Again.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy?
Yeah. He had Let me Google this to make sure I have the
Was
right
he
person. He had one of. I don't want to lie on Tom Hardy.
Was he like with Marky Mark?
Well, so this was a tape that he used to rap way this is way long ago. So this was something he recorded back in 1999.
What?
Let me see. I'm trying to see what his name was. Jesus Christ. Found the article. Oh, Jesus. Wow, what happened?
Esoteric and Bumpy Knuckles.
That's what. Oh, they helped
Yes.
Cena. Oh, that's not bad actually. Having Esoteric help you that's a name. That's
Esoteric
something.
and Freddie Fox, boy. You know.
All right, so the Tom Hardy. So this is you guys' gym before we sign off. You guys can look this up. So the Tom Hardy tape. This came out in 1999. The tape is called "Falling on." All right, it's "Falling on Your Ass," but you know how they say "arse" like ARSE. So that's how it's spelled. It's an unreleased collaboration between. So Tommy's name was Tommy Number One, and he had a partner named DJ Eddie Too Tall, aka Ed Tracy. So this tape is on Bandcamp actually. It's called it's under Eddie Too Tall. It's called The Hidden Mixtape. It's 10 tracks. The article I'm on is spin.com. If I can remember, I'll put this tape in the description. I didn't listen to it. But for what I've heard, like it actually isn't that bad. Like it's not a terrible tape. It's not as bad as you would think it would be. So shout out to Tom Hardy for dropping bars in 1999. Oh man.
Oh yeah. One more quick shout out to Vince Murdoch and Anthony Villa from Team Alpha Male. Fighting a super fight league this weekend. So,
Hey,
shout out to them. Good luck.
real competition. There we go.
Guess that's more the reason why we have to review one of their cards. Oh man. But that's pretty much been it for today's episode. As always, you guys can catch the podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play. Send questions to dojotalkpodcast@yahoo.com. And if you want to harass me on Twitter, I am @SerialSensei. And if you want to check us out on Facebook, just go to Facebook and type in Dojo Talk Podcast, and you can find us there also. But yeah, that's about it. As always, anytime people being punched and or kicked in the face, we'll be there to talk about it, and hopefully we catch you guys soon. Peace.